So our next lab exam then is going to be on chapters 9 and 11. So I'm going to go over the structures on chapter 11 or 9 here, and I'm going to tell you which ones are going to be on diagrams and which ones are going to be on models. So the first two here, the glenohumeral and the coracohumeral, those are going to be on a diagram. I showed you what the diagram was in lecture. It's in your textbook. Okay, so just go and search for those two. Those will be on the diagram. The rest of these are going to be on the model. Okay, then for the knee joint, the real deep ones here, these anterior cruciate, posterior cruciate, those will probably be on a diagram. But the rest of these, I can do the rest of these on models. Right, so just so you know that. Now those are over on the side over there. I have both the knee and the shoulder model, so make sure that you get a look at those. Yes?
I have a question for the one that they keep showing that says cut on it. Are you going to have that on there?
So, yes, the coracohumeral ligament, yeah. So it's just saying that it's cut because the humerus is missing from that diagram, so you can't see where it attaches to the humerus because the humerus isn't there. But yes, that will be on there. It's showing where it's originating from, just not showing where it inserts. Okay? All right, then, now if we look at the muscles, so the muscles have unique names, and muscles are actually named to describe the muscle. They're not meant to be just really complicated, what in the world do these names mean? They're supposed to describe something about them, their location, their function, their shape. Something is supposed to describe something about the muscle. So when we look at our lab list, though, of these muscles, we can see that they are all organized by function. So this is the muscles of facial expression. This is the muscle of mastication. Here's the anterior muscles of the neck. So I don't like that the way for lab, I don't think that's a very good way for you guys to study the models, right? So when we look at the models, we have a head model, a chest model, a leg model, an arm model, and a trunk. And they're all separated out, and you're only going to have one of those models. It's not put together like a whole human being. Each of those things are going to be separated. So what we want to do is go through this list, and I'm going to tell you which muscles are going to be on the head model, which are going to be on the chest plate, which are going to be on the leg, the arm, and then the trunk. And then when you get that model to your, now you can go through your list and say, okay, these are the 5 muscles I'm supposed to know on this piece of the body, right? So I think that's going to be more helpful. So let's go through them. We're just going to go right down the line. So the head and neck, I'm just going to use H and then /N for head and neck. So when we look at these, this first muscle, Orbicularis Oculi, that's on the head and the neck. And Orbicularis Oculi is head and neck. It's on that model. Okay? These are descriptive. Orbicularis means they're circular, orbit, like they're orbiting around. Oris means the mouth. Oculi means the eye. So it's telling you it's a round muscle, one surrounding the mouth, one surrounding the eye. The masseter muscle here, this one's going to be on the head and neck model. And the sternocleidomastoid will be on the head and neck model. Okay. Then we get to erector spinae, and the erector spinae will be on a diagram. All right. Okay, we're going to come back to the Quadratus Lumborum. The next model that I want to show you is the chest plate. So there's muscles on the front, and then there's muscles on the back. And with all of our muscles, our muscle models, when you look at one side of it, it's going to show you the real superficial muscles. And then when you look at the other side of it, it's going to look different because the superficial models have been taken off, and now you're looking at the deeper muscles. So that's on this on the chest plate, that's on the head, That's on the trunk, on the back. So you just want to know that this is more superficial, this is deeper. These muscles are on both sides, right? All right, so when we're looking at the chest plate, and chest plate I'll just say is CP, right? So I'll use CP as the initials. So we have the all of these here from the external intercostals on down to the end of this page are all going to be found on the chest plate model. Chest plate model. Okay. Then we're going to look at the trunk model. And the trunk model, well, before you switch the page, let's look at Quadratus Lumborum. That's going to be on the trunk model. Quadratus Lumborum will be on the trunk, on the front of the trunk. Okay, T for trunk. All right, then on the next page, let's look at, we're going over the trunk then. We'll have the rhomboid major is on the trunk. The serratus anterior is on the trunk. And the serratus anterior is also on that chest plate. Okay, so it's on both. You can see it on the chest plate and you can see it on the trunk model. The trapezium, then, that one can be seen on two as well. It's seen on the trunk, and then it's also seen on the head and neck. So there's upper fibers of the trapezius that you see on the head and neck, and then on the trunk you see the lower fibers. Okay, then we have the deltoid muscle, and the deltoid muscle we can see on it's better if you see it on the arm muscle, so A for arm. But you can also see it on our trunk muscle. It's not numbered on the trunk muscle, but it's pretty identifiable. If you find it on the arm, you should be able to find it on the trunk as well, the trunk model. The latissimus dorsi is going to be on the trunk model. And the pectoralis major is going to be on the chest plate. Okay, then we get down into the arms here, muscles that move the arms. And the all of these are going to be found on the arm muscle, on the arm of the muscle man. Okay, arm of the muscle man. Then we get down here and we see the muscles of the pelvis and the other limbs. I'm running out of colors. These are going to be found on the leg model. The gluteus maximus, though, is another one that's pretty identifiable, so you're going to see it also on the trunk model. If I run out of models, I'll put it on the trunk model, if I do that in the exam. Okay. So either on the leg or on the trunk, it's the buttocks muscle. Then we have the rest of the ones on the leg. So, I should say, this one here, the adductors, this is going to be on a diagram. And then the rest of these here, we have the from the biceps femoris on down. I'm going to skip the iliopsoas for a minute. They're all going to be on the leg, leg. Each one of those is going to be on the leg. Okay? The iliopsoas is going to be on the trunk model. All right, so as long as you remember that, L equals leg, A equals arm, H dash or slash N is the head and neck, and T equals trunk.
CP.
And then CP equals chest plate. Now you can study regional anatomy instead of studying functional, because that's going to be too hard. All we're trying to do is identify where those muscles are. Okay? All right. That's it. Then the rest of today, I'm going to have you just watch the video. And I have the videos separated out into each individual region. So you can watch the video for that region and then look for the muscles. And then I have tests, practice tests on the Science Club that are divided into each individual region. So then you can test yourself on just the individual region. When you get them all done, then you can just go ahead and take the whole exam, the whole muscle exam. Okay?